Arya lives in the big Jewish settlement at Ras Al Amud.
We see the Mount of Olives cemetery, where the crane is now another 66 families will be able to move here, I believe, September next year. Once we will get to 250 families, we will get to a majority in all of this area.
And that's your aim, to become the majority here?
In 10 years. This is our aim. I look, from learning from the history of other places, this is what will happen. Or even better, maybe we'll get to 300.
A key figure in the settlers' drive to acquire Arab properties in East Jerusalem, Arya digs in the archives. He finds houses owned by Jews before 1948, locates relatives, often abroad, and gets them to stake a claim.
Right here we have a Jewish family living. Okay? All of these buildings, both that and that, the floors belong to Jews. Okay?
Aren't you worried about the tension you're causing by buying up these Jewish properties in a predominantly Arab area?
Sometimes it's causing some, for a few days, conflict, but here, in purpose, I'm doing it slowly. They know we own it. My way is to convince them, don't cause us to use police or any other power sources. Do it by yourself. Choose the time, choose the way, and we will help you.
And you give them money as well?
If they need the money, I don't have any problem to give them something, so it makes them easy to go out.
Arya's work is paid for by wealthy backers in America and Europe. When Arabs won't move or sell, then he gets eviction orders.
Okay.
Arya prefers to work after dark. There's less likely to be trouble. But just in case, the Israeli army sends soldiers along.
طب انت ليش ما جيت يعني بدون هالجيش وبدون هالشيء هذا؟ بس مش هيك الواحد بيجيب جيش.
هذا المحكمة.
Arya's serving 6 eviction orders tonight. Soon Jews will move in. House by house, Arya aims to change the demographics of East Jerusalem.
I'm doing whatever I can in any kind of level to protect Yerushalayim from being divided. It means to strengthen the sovereignty of the Jewish government, the Israeli government in East of Yerushalayim. It's a struggle on the future of the Jewish nation in the land of the Holy Land and the heart of the struggle. My aim is to get Jews all over. All over.
It's not just about settlers. There's a strategy here, an official Israeli government plan.
Regrettably, in recent years, the Israeli government has been engaged in a project to incorporate this area into Israel in ways that no Israeli government has done in the past, largely by turning over the most important archaeological, religious, national sites in this area to exclusionary settler organizations. I consider that to be an act of colossal irresponsibility.
South of the Mount of Olives and on through the Holy Basin, I find a valley and a network of new paths. This too is all part of Israel's attempt to extend its hold on East Jerusalem. We've discovered an official plan which shows that the Israeli government is strengthening the status of Jerusalem as its capital by creating a broad swathe of parks and tourist trails like this one between the old city walls and the Mount of Olives. These areas will link the settlements in East Jerusalem and extend Israeli control over this part of the city. The maps in the Israeli plan show just how extensive those trails and parks in the Holy Basin are. They stretch right round East Jerusalem. At the bottom of the valley is Silwan, another area where settlers have taken over houses and are creating a large archaeological site. Silwan is poor and overcrowded. Many homes here were built without planning permission. As I arrived, the police and bulldozers were moving in to demolish 3 Palestinian buildings. The Israelis plan to demolish 88 houses to create a tourist park here. Jawad Siam is a local Palestinian activist, documenting what Israel is doing.
They are demolishing the houses because they want to. It's ethnic cleaning for Silwan, for East Jerusalem.
The Israelis say they knocked down almost as many illegal structures in West Jerusalem as in East. But most are just a balcony of fence, not whole buildings like here.
The most racist state in the world, you see it. You see this state? It's the most racist state in the world. You are the most racist people here in the world. You all. You see them, how they are doing. There are another house for the settlers. You see that there. It has demolished order. Why did they demolish? They don't do anything there.
A block where settlers live, built without planning permission, is still standing, while Palestinian property around it is being destroyed. Palestinians feel they're being squeezed out of East Jerusalem. They're only allowed to build on 13% of land here, while nearly 60% is earmarked for settlements and parks. Jawad's family have lived here for generations. In the last 15 years, he's seen around 60 Jewish families move into Arab houses, bought by a settler organization called Elad.
They have a budget of last year for like $40 million only for buying houses in this neighborhood. Yes.
Jawad's been fighting for years in the courts over a family property he claims Elad acquired using forged documents. Elad say they purchased it legally.
They're coming out now?
Yeah, they are the security, the gun guards.
So they're armed?
They armed, yes, and sometimes they are shooting.
Guards everywhere. The settlers' CCTV, changing Arab street names to Israeli ones. The Palestinians say it's all part of the plan to intimidate them.
They have a very clear transfer agenda. They don't say it. They want to get Palestinians out and to bring Israeli family, Jewish family, settlers.
Many of the settlers now living in Silwan come from abroad. Jonathan and Devorah Adler are from America. They have 5 children and they're renting this house from Elad. The Adlers believe they have a historical right to live in East Jerusalem.
Growing up as religious Jews, ever since we're very young, we pray 3 times a day in the direction of Jerusalem, essentially right to here.
The security guards who shadow the Adlers and all the settlers' children as they move around Silwan are paid for by the Israeli state.
What are relations like with your Arab neighbours here?
We've been here almost 12 years now. It's been respectful.
But not warm, from what you're saying.
I wouldn't say that we're close neighbors, but it's definitely a relationship that's respectful.
Unfortunately, like in other places of the world, there are racists and there are anti-Semites and there are people that would be looking to harm us just because of who we are, just because of our religion or our ethnicity.
On the Sabbath, the Adlers visit the western wall of the temple.
We have